Cruz, along with Keith Stevens. Welcome to Keep the Faith, the home of contagious encouragement.
You don't have to look far to find a problem, but as you listen to Keep the Faith today, we hope you find encouragement to face those problems with hope, strength, and joy.
It wasn't until I started the research for this and started cataloging all the ways that were negative and we don't realize it, that I went, oh my gosh, I am negative every single day.
Sometimes on this journey, I get lost in my mistakes. What looks to me like weakness is a canvas for your strength. And my story isn't over, my story's just begun. Failure won't define me, 'cause that's what my Father does.
I really think that those moments, it would be easy for us to just pout. When God's not doing what we want, it's hard to think about being a big person and engaging in other people's pain. And yet, what's strange about it is that's where our healing comes. We actually get healed by letting God use us in other people's pain. It gives us perspective on our own pain.
This is where the healing begins. Oh, this is where the healing starts. When you come to where you're broken within, the light meets the dark. The light meets the dark.
And so we need to watch tape in our minds and renew our minds and remember when things were going well in our lives.
The weapon may be formed, but it won't prosper. When the darkness falls, it won't prevail. 'Cause the God I serve knows only how to triumph. My God will never fail.
Replay your past successes. Even David said, I killed a lion, I killed a bear, and I can kill this giant.
I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. Oh, you take what the enemy meant for evil, and you turn it for good. You turn it for good.
2 million trees. That sounds like a lot, but it started with a man who simply decided to see a problem and take step one. That story is next on Keep the Faith.
Sometimes on this journey, I get lost in my mistakes. What looks to me like weakness is a canvas for your strength. And my story isn't over, my story's just begun. And failure won't define me, 'cause that's what my Father does. Yeah, failure won't define me, 'cause that's what my Father does. Lay your burdens down. Here in the Father's house, check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. You're in the Father's house. Arrival's not the end game, the journey's where you are. You never wanted perfect, you just wanted my heart. And the story isn't over if the story isn't good. And failure's never final when the Father's in the room. And failure's never final when the Father's in the room. Lay your burdens down. Here in the Father's house, check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. helpless find hope. Love is on the move when the Father's in the room. Prison doors swing wide, the dead come to life. Love is on the move when the Father's in the room. Miracles take place, the cynical find faith, and love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. Jericho walls are breaking, strongholds now are shaking. Love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. Love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. Ooh, lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house. Check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house. Yeah. Lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house. Check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house.
On Keep the Faith, songs of encouragement and stories of hope can fill you with kindness, grace, and goodness, enough to give away. It's encouragement that becomes contagious.
I knew I was broken, but there was no one that I could tell. Praying felt like I was throwing pennies in a wishing well. And I started believing I was cursed to carry this weight. I was listing the reasons of why I should walk away. Until grace called my name. Oh, I didn't know I could be free until grace found me. Until grace broke these chains. Oh, I didn't know I could be free until grace found, your grace found me. I might be looking at a future full of question marks, but I don't have to have all of the answers if you have my heart. In you, I'm finding redemption, a little more with every breath. Brand new like the morning, and I'll never forget it until grace called my name. Oh, I didn't know I could be free until grace found me. Until grace broke these chains. Oh, I didn't know I could be free until grace found, your grace found me. Oh, you came like a force of nature, knocked down every wall I made. You rescued my soul when I thought there was no escape. No. You came like a force of nature, knocked down every wall I made. You rescued my soul when I thought there was no escape. Until grace. Oh, tell him, until grace called my name. Oh, I didn't know I could be free until grace found me. Until grace brought these chains. I didn't know I could be free until grace found, your grace found me. Your grace found me. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Yeah. Your grace found
You're listening to Keep the Faith.
Hey, I'm Keith Stevens. Some look at a problem and see a problem. Others look at the problem and see a chance to make a difference. Michael Rakeman is with Fellowship Home Loans. One of the best parts of his job are the people he meets and the stories he hears.
It was 1994. Salgado had just finished a heart-wrenching project in Rwanda to chronicle that nation's civil war and the atrocities of genocide. He was mentally and emotionally exhausted. When he returned to his home in Brazil, he and his wife Layla decided to travel to their family farm for a season of healing. But when the Salgados arrived in the Minas Gerais region of Brazil, instead of feeling peace, they were sickened. The once lush and stunning scenery was now a scarred landscape due to deforestation. Where was the wildlife that used to be everywhere? It was gone. Layla was immediately inspired with something she and her husband could do. They would grow a forest. Just 25 years after the Salgados planted the first sapling, the 1,745-acre forest was restored. 2 million trees had been planted in all. They turned a barren landscape back into a paradise. Now, the reason the Salgado story hits me so hard is that I know myself all too well. How many times have I seen a problem and just stopped there? I think all of us are a little like that. We're good at figuring out what's wrong, but not quite as good as making things right. Amazing things happen when a person sees a real problem, a real need, and then does something about it. Is there a problem you see in your home, your community, your world, where you are the answer? Is it time for you to plant that first tree in order to grow a forest?
Thanks so much to Fellowship Home Loans for helping to make encouragement contagious here on Keep the Faith. More information is available at KeepTheFaith.com.
Can't believe we've come this far and it feels just like getting started. Somehow we're still running like those kids back then. Scrape some knees and falling down, but somehow we keep getting back up. Long as there is wonder, gonna keep running, yeah, we'll keep running. In this moment, it's electric. Can you see it? Can you feel it? This dream inside is still alive today. Yeah, we're on our way. To
This is Keep the Faith.
Keep the Faith's confidence coach has encouragement to help you find beauty even when things look bleak. That's next.
In the dark and all alone, growing comfortable. Are you too scared to move and walk out of this tomb? Buried underneath the lies that you believed, safe and sound, stuck in the ground, too lost to be found. You're just asleep, and it's time to leave. Come on and rise up, take a breath, you're alive now. Can't you hear the voice of Jesus calling us out from the grave like Lazarus? You're brand new, the power of death couldn't hold you. Can't you hear the voice of Jesus calling us out from the grave like Lazarus? Rise up, rise up, oh, rise up, out from the grave like Lazarus. When he said your name, the thing that filled your veins was more than blood. It's the kind of love that washes sin away. Now the door is open wide, and the stone's been rolled aside. The old is gone, the light has come, so come on and rise up. Take a breath, you're alive now. Can't you hear the voice of Jesus calling us out from the grave like Lazarus? You're brand new, the power of death couldn't hold you. Can't you hear the voice of Jesus calling us out from the grave like Lazarus? Rise up, like Lazarus. Whoa. Rise up, out from the grave like Lazarus. He's calling us to walk out of the dark. He's giving us new resurrected hearts. Oh, he's calling us to walk out of the dark. He's giving us new resurrected hearts. Oh, come on and rise up, take a breath, you're alive now. Can't you hear the voice of Jesus calling us out from the grave like Lazarus? You're brand new, the power of death couldn't hold you. Can't you hear the voice of Jesus calling us out from the grave like Lazarus? Rise up, he's calling you out. Rise up, give it up from the grave like Lazarus. You don't have to stay there. Rise up, calling us out from the grave like Lazarus.
Encouragement to help you find hope and healing. This is Keep the Faith.
On the nights when the dark lasts a little bit longer, when the wind and the storm is a little bit stronger, when the fear in my heart digs a little bit deeper, and when my faith to stand gets a little bit weaker, where could I run to? Where could I go? Even when it feels like my world is shaking, even when I've had all that I can take, I know you never let me go. Whoa. And even when the waters won't stop rising, even when I'm caught in the dead of the night, I know no matter how it ends, you're with me even there. When the days up ahead look a little bit brighter, but the grip of the past holds a little bit tighter, I'm reminded your grace never asked for perfection. Oh, I'm restored 'cause I'm yours and I stand
You're listening to Keep the Faith.
I'm Donna Cruz. They say beauty doesn't last forever, but I guess that really depends on how you see beauty. Keep the Faith's confidence coach, Trish Blackwell, says it may not look the same, but there is always beauty around us. You can find out more about Trish's College of Confidence or her book, Straighten Your Crown, at KeepTheFaith.com.
When I think about perfect moments, I think about the culmination of the day with the setting of the sun. From wherever my vantage point is, the sky fills itself with colors that seem to stretch themselves into every crevice of the blue sky backdrop. The sun then begins to wane like a melting gumdrop, dropping down and plunging into the darkness unknown, disappearing from sight, but allowing its myriad of rays to act as its encore. I want the beauty to last forever, but it doesn't. And I don't panic because in a world painted by God, there is no scarcity of beauty or fear of it disappearing, for God is a God of beauty, and He will continue to bring goodness and beauty into the days of my life because that is who He is. I am reminded that God takes what I might see as fading beauty and then renews it in a way that magnifies the skies of my life with more beauty and color that I could possibly imagine or comprehend.
God of creation, there at the start, before the beginning of time. With no point of reference, you spoke to the dark and fleshed out the wonder of life. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. And if the stars were made to worship so loud, God of your promise, you don't speak in vain, no syllable empty or void. For once you have spoken, all nature and science follow the sound of your voice. And as you speak, 100 billion things disappear. Where you lost your life so I could find it here. And if you left the grave behind you so I can see your heart and everything you've done. Every part designed in a work of art. If you gladly chose surrender so loud, like you would again 100 billion times, but what measure could amount to your desire? You're the one who never leaves the one behind.
The first step, if you're going to get a ketchup bottle open, is to get the top off. You got to get open. It's hard. It's hard to get a glass ketchup bottle, the top off. It's one of the hardest things. And if you can get that top off, be open to it. There's a better way to do life than go around angry and hurt.
Show me how to love the unlovable. Show me how to reach the unreachable. Help me now to do the impossible. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Help me now to do the impossible. Forgiveness.
Hello, I'm Ted Baer with your Movie God Minute on Keep the Faith. We can't always judge a book by its cover, and that's certainly the case for Jodie Cramen in the new Netflix sequel, Tall Girl 2. In the Netflix comedy, Jodie is the tall girl who previously stood up to high school bullies who tried to make her feel bad about her height. Now Jodie's gained some popularity in the school and decides to try out for the school play. However, when she lands the lead in the play, she's burdened with a small voice in her mind that casts doubt on her abilities. This in turn leads to problems in her relationships. Will Jodie be able to drown out the bully living in her own head? Tall Girl 2 is a cute, funny, and encouraging option for your next family movie night. For the complete review, visit movieguide.org. Movie Guide is a not-for-profit organization.
This is Keep the Faith.
In just a few moments, Dan Wilt has some encouragement for you if you're chasing a dream, and it comes from the most unlikely place.
My oldest daughter was beginning to look for her first car. She found it, and it wasn't what she thought it would be. You should have seen the look on her face when she saw the kind of car that she could afford. I'll tell you more in a few minutes on Keep the Faith.
Maybe midnight or midday, never early, never late. He gon' stand by what he claimed, lived enough life to say,
I heard your heart, I see your pain, out in the dark, out in the rain. Feel so alone, feel so afraid. I heard you pray in Jesus' name. It may be midnight or midday, it's never early, never late. He gon' stand by what he claimed. I lived enough life to say, help is on the way, round in the corner. Help is on the way, coming for you. Help is on the way, yeah, yeah. I lived enough life to say, help is on the way. Sometimes it's days, sometimes it's years, some face a lifetime of falling tears. But he's in the darkness, he's in the cold, just like the morning, he always shows. It may be midnight or midday, it's never early, never late. He gon' stand by what he claimed. I lived enough life to say, help is on the way, round in the corner. Help is on the way, coming for you. Help is on the way, yeah, yeah. I lived enough life to say, help is on the way. Well, I've seen my share of troubles, but the Lord ain't failed me yet. So I'm holding on to the promise, y'all, that he's rolling up his sleeves again. Said I've seen my share of troubles, but the Lord ain't failed me yet. We'll keep holding on to the promise, y'all, that he's rolling up his sleeves again. Don't you know it? I can see him rolling. Help is coming. Yeah, it may be midnight or midday, it's never early, no, never late. He gon' stand by what he claimed. I lived enough life to say, it may be midnight or midday, it's never early, no, he's never late. He gon' stand by what he claimed. I lived enough life to say, help is on the way. Help is on the way, round in the corner. Help is on the way.
There's an encouragement found in songs and stories, and when it connects with your spirit, it can become contagious. Welcome to Keep the Faith.
God of Abraham, you're the God of covenant and faithful promises. Time and time again, you have proven you'll do just what you said. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast and let my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness to me. God, from age to age, though the earth may pass away, your word remains the same. Yeah, your history can prove there's nothing you can't do. You're faithful and true. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast and let my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Great is your faithfulness to me. Oh, great is your faithfulness to me. From the rising sun to the setting same, I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me. I put my faith in Jesus, my anchor to the ground, my hope and firm foundation. He'll never let me down. I put my faith, my anchor to the ground, my hope and firm foundation. He'll never let me down. He'll never let me down. I'll still bless you in the middle of my storm, in the middle of my trial. I'll still bless you when I'm in the middle of the road and I don't know which way to go. I'll still bless you. I've got a reason to bless your name. You've been faithful. You've been faithful. I'll still bless you. I will bless your name. I will bless your name. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness from the rising sun to the setting same. I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me.
You're listening to Keep the Faith.
I'm Keith Stevens. If you have ever felt like giving up on a dream, our friend Dan Wilt has a story just for you. You can get to know Dan better at KeepTheFaith.com.
My oldest daughter was beginning to look for her first car. Now, we are a researching family. We look high and low, from auto magazines all the way to sketchy websites, to find that diamond in the rough that we call a used car. Hearing about a car that was on sale that might fit the bill, my wife and my daughter stopped by to see it. Well, it looked in pretty good shape on the outside, and my daughter was initially enthusiastic. But as soon as they got under the hood and got the details on the unseen parts of the car, her smile turned into a frown. It was going to cost a lot of money and a lot of tender, loving care to get that car up to speed. Eventually, you'll be surprised, she decided to take the plunge. Well, sometimes I find that dreams can be like that. And we start to realize that getting this dream on the road is going to take more than polish, more than willpower. Well, many of us give up at that point. We're afraid we're about to make a big mistake. But others of us count the cost and we decide to move forward, but with our eyes wide open. Dreams, it seems, take work. Who knows? You could find out with a little faith and a lot of perseverance that old junker of a dream you have might prove to be one sweet ride.
I'm not a warrior, I'm too afraid to lose. I feel unqualified for what you're calling me to. Lord, with your strength, I've got no excuse. 'Cause broken people are exactly who you use. So give me faith like Daniel in the lion's den. Give me hope like Moses in the wilderness. Give me a heart like David, Lord, be my defense. So I can face my giants with confidence. You took a shepherd boy and made him a king. So I'm gonna trust you and give you everything. I'll be a conqueror, 'cause you fight for me. I'll be a champion, claiming your victory. So give me faith like Daniel in the lion's den. Give me hope like Moses in the wilderness. Give me a heart like David, Lord, be my defense. So I can face my giants with confidence. I'm gonna sing and shout and shake the wall. Won't stop until I see them fall. I'm gonna stand up, step out when you call. And Jesus, Jesus, I'm gonna sing and shout and shake the walls. Won't stop until I see them fall. I'm gonna stand up, step out when you call. And Jesus, give me faith like Daniel in the lion's den. Give me hope like Moses in the wilderness. Give me a heart like David, Lord, be my defense. So I can face my giants with confidence. Yeah! Give me faith like Daniel in the lion's den. Give me hope like Moses in the wilderness. Give me a heart like David, Lord, be my defense. So I can face my giants with confidence. I'll face my giants with confidence.
Psalm 37, it says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." For the longest time, I guess I read that verse as, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you what you want." God kind of one day, as I was reading that over and over, kind of let that word "give" pop off the page at me. And I realized that in my life, what He was saying is, delight yourself in me, and I will show you what your desires are to be. That's how people can pick up their whole lives and move to Africa, because He puts that desire in them. And it's because He's doing that work. And it says, commit your way, say yes, basically. Commit your way to Him, and He will do this. He will make your righteousness shine. The justice of your cause, He'll make it shine like the noonday sun.
This is Keep the Faith. I'm Brandy Lene on Keep the Faith. Here's an encouraging thought for you today. People who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do.
Line number one, you're supposed to have it all together. And when they ask how you doing, just smile and tell them never better. Line number two, everybody's life is perfect except yours. So keep your messes and your wounds and your secrets safe with you behind closed doors. But truth be told, the truth is rarely told. I say I'm fine, yeah I'm fine, oh I'm fine, hey I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken, and when it's out of control, I say it's under control. and you know it. I don't know why it's so hard to admit it, when being honest is the only way to fix it. There's no failure, no fall, there's no sin you don't already know. So let the truth be told. There's a sign on the door, says come as you are, but I doubt it. Cause if we lived like that was true, every Sunday morning pew would be crowded. But didn't you say church should look more like a hospital? A safe place for the sick, the sinner and the scarred and the prodigals like me. Well, truth be told, the truth is rarely told. Oh, am I the only one who says I'm fine? Yeah, I'm fine, oh, I'm fine, hey, I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken, and when it's out of control, I say it's under control, but it's not, and you know it. I don't know why it's so hard to admit it, when being honest is the only way to fix it. There's no failure, no fall, there's no sin you don't already know. So let the truth be told. Can I really stand here unashamed, knowing that your love for me won't change? Oh God, if that's really true, then let the truth be told. I say I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine, oh, I'm fine, hey, I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken, and when it's out of control, I say it's under control, but it's not, and you know it. I don't know why it's so hard to admit it, when being honest is the only way to fix it. There's no failure, no fall, there's no sin you don't already know. Yeah, I know. There's no failure, no fall, there's no sin you don't already know. So let the truth be told.
Contagious encouragement on Keep the Faith.
Move the immovable, break the unbreakable. God, we believe. God, we believe for it.
Hi, I'm Cece Winans. We are designed to live in community, sharing stories, sharing life, sharing hope. So when you share how you've overcome an obstacle with God's help, you can inspire someone else to do the same. So call today, 800-726-4150. That's 800-726-4150.
My husband and I had the opportunity to purchase a Baskin-Robbins franchise store a little over 3 years ago. We would only play your radio station because we're believers. The Baskin-Robbins corporate told us we needed to find a different station that was more neutral. We refused, but God's blessings have happened, and since those 3 years have gone by, we have not one day not played your radio station. For the 11 hours we're open 7 days a week. And God opened the door and allowed us to step out on faith and now have our own ice cream business. It's no longer a franchise, and we were able to rebrand it December 1st. So we just wanted to share how God is so faithful, and He's allowed us to follow our hearts for Him.
Can't escape disappointment, can't avoid the delay, but I don't have to make feeling down and defeated the place that I stay. Gonna rise to the moment, gonna speak to the waves, gonna push back the doubt that keeps dragging me down when I can't find a way. Don't need to see it, eyes on you, to believe it, for my breakthrough, before you even move on, make a way. I was standing faith, eyes on you, walk by faith, for my breakthrough, live by faith, before you. Oh, I believe, standing healing. It's a season for change, to see miracles happen that no one can fathom as heaven invades. And it's more than a feeling, and it's anchored in praise. And when it's the darkest, it reaches the farthest and opens a way. Don't need to see it, I saw you. Well, to believe it, for my breakthrough, before you even move or make a way. Yeah. I was standing faith, I saw you. Walk by faith, for my breakthrough, live by faith, before you. Oh, I believe, I believe, I believe. Standing faith, I saw you. See by faith, for my breakthrough, receive by faith, before you. Oh, I believe, I believe, I believe. This is how blind men get their sight. This is how dead men start to rise. This is how small things multiply. Nothing's impossible, nothing's impossible. This is where oceans have to part. This is where light comes through the dark. This is where I see who you are. Nothing's impossible, nothing's impossible. Stir my faith, stir my faith.